How are we all doing, guys? So today, yes, I am filming this in the front room. Obviously the kids are off school, so Connor's in his room playing Fortnite, screaming down the thing to his mate, so not an ideal place to do a video, so I thought I'd do it in here. And it suddenly occurred to me that although I've done videos on this particular device here, the Powkiddy V90, I hadn't really gone through each individual system. I'd pretty much just gone through like a game on each system to show you how the system works. I didn't really go and do a video on Gameboy and a video on Gameboy Advance and so on. I'd kind of done it as a whole, so I thought we'd revisit it, and on this particular video just do the Gameboy games on this. So this is a great device for the money, and as I've said in videos already, it's got an IPS screen. The sound on it's really good. In fact, I find the sound is that good you quite often have to turn it down when you're doing videos because it's actually too loud. The volume does go up very high, which is impressive when you consider it's such a tiny device, you know. So because this is actually smaller than a Game Boy Advance. Just hold it up there so you can see it a bit better. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit thinner too. Yeah, and like I say, it's not massively expensive. It comes with a bunch of emulators and ROMs on it, and I thought, well, it's got all these different emulators on it. How about we do a video concentrating on each emulator, each system? So like I say, this one's going to be Game Boy. So the next bit you're going to see is going to be me playing the Game Boy games on this device. So I picked out a few good ones out of it, so we'll see how it performs. Let's take a look. Right, here we go with the first game, Bobble. Game I used to play a lot on the Commodore 64 back in the day. Recently I've been playing the arcade version quite a bit, and if any of you have been watching the community challenges going around, there's a challenge at the moment on this. This is the first time I've actually played this version of it, the Game Boy version. And it's an interesting one because the levels are set out very different on this version, but it's still a good game. Sounds fantastic, and the IPS screen on the Powkiddy V90 really sets it off. Picture's really good. The only issue I have got with this version is it's not quite as quick firing the bubbles like it is on other versions. There's a little bit of a delay between each shot. And also I found a lot of the time when you jump into the bubbles to pop them, it doesn't always do it, as you'll see on this footage. But as you can tell, it's a good version of it. Yeah, there you go, didn't pop it then. And I found quite often when you jump into it as well, yeah look, jumped in it again, nothing. Jumped into it again. So it took several attempts there. But there's a reason why I enjoy Bobble as much as I do. And it's because there just doesn't seem to be a bad version of this game. Yes, this one's got a couple of little flaws if you like, but it's still enjoyable to play, and I really did enjoy having a go on this. On to the next stage. Yeah, this is where I go falling for a bit. Now the other thing you'll notice with this version of the game is that the levels are set out a lot different. They're very different to what you get on the arcade and C64 version. Oh, just got clobbered. And again. Right, on to the next game. Right, Bomb Jack. Now again, this is a game I used to play back in the day on the Commodore 64. Really used to enjoy this game as well. Now I'm used to playing this game obviously with a joystick, so that makes this a little more interesting to play. On the joystick you used to have to, if I remember right, you had to push up to go up. Whereas on this one it's a button. Well, I could be wrong on that. I mean, it's been a long time since I played the C64 version. But as you can tell, this one looks really good. The IPS screen is really setting this off. Such a crisp picture. And that's level 1 done. Sounds good as well. This little device, it's very good when it comes to sound as well as the visual. In fact, when I was doing this video I had to turn it down so that it wasn't too overpowering because it's so loud. It does go up really loud, which is impressive for such a small device. Oh, I just missed them now. No. Got caught. To continue or not to continue? Continue. Another bash at level 2. And as you can tell, my gameplay at this point is pretty bad. Now that's what I like about these old games, they are very challenging. That's level 2 though. Kind of doomed here no matter what I did. Oh, just missed him. Oh, I'm gonna get caught. Right, bit of Kung Fu Master. Again, this is one I used to play back in the day on the Commodore 64. And recently I've had a go of it on the NES, but it has been emulation, so it hasn't been on the original hardware and software. And this version is very different. The NES version and the C64, as you're walking along a corridor, and there's not really a lot to it. This one's got a lot more detail to it. Obviously it's minus the colour, but it has got a lot more detail. You've got a guy here with what looks like a chain or something. Again, sound is really good, picture quality is great. This really is a good device to play Game Boy games on. They do look really good. Took me quite a while to kill that guy now. And this one I have real problems with. not easy. You've got to try and get in there when he's not hitting you with it. Right, on to the next game. R-Type 2. As you know, I like my shoot 'em ups. I'm not particularly great at them, but I do like them. And this game does look pretty stunning actually on this. And away we go. Do love the sound of Game Boy games. Got that proper retro sound to it. And it does a good job with this music too. Ooh, got covered. Ooh. Obviously you'll guess by the fact that it is R-Type, it's not an easy game no matter what you play it on. Admittedly this is the second one, but still just as hard. And again, this is a game that seems to translate well no matter what it's on. I mean, one of the best versions I ever played was the Master System version. Ooh, taken out again. Keep getting to that same part. Now this is a first for me again. This is another game I have not played on the Game Boy before. And technically I'm not playing it on a Game Boy now, but I am playing the Game Boy version. Right, okay, so you've seen the footage, you've seen the Game Boy play. I mean, obviously I've only picked out 4 games, but very good games, and they play perfectly on this, they really do. I mean, you know, like the thing I pointed out on Bobble about the bubbles not quite being as quick and the jumping, I mean, that's the game, that's not the emulation, so it's fine. Yeah, really good. I mean, obviously, you know, you never can beat the feeling of actually having a Game Boy in your hand. And I do have one, but obviously, as I said in previous videos, the screen is, you know, they degrade over time, so it's not great on it. And I am planning on modding it, so at some point I will do a video on that when I mod it. And also some gameplay on it, because when I do mod it, it will be the full shebang. So it will be new case, new screen, rechargeable battery, etc. So that will be coming at some point. It's not cheap to do though, which is why I haven't done it yet. But anyway, we're not talking about the original Game Boy, we are talking about the Powkiddy V90. And yeah, as you can tell, it emulates Game Boy no problem, which is what you'd expect anyway. I mean, Game Boy, they are quite simple sort of games, you know, they don't strain a system. It'll be more when we get on to the later systems that we'll probably find that this little device might struggle a little bit, but Game Boy is fine. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, the plan was, because before I kind of did the Powkiddy as a whole, we didn't really look at the individual systems, and that's what I'm going to be doing with this. So obviously this one was the Game Boy, the next one will be the Game Boy Color. So we'll have a look at that and see how they play on this. I imagine probably pretty similar to how this did, how it handled these. I mean, really the only difference is you've got a few more colours. So yeah, so look out for that over the next coming weeks. That will be up soon. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. And if you did, please like, share and subscribe. And also hit that notification bell so that you're made aware of all our future videos and live streams. And also comment. If you have got one of these devices, let me know how you're getting on with it. If you haven't got one of these devices, let me know what you think of it. Just let me know in the comments below. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.